Mi gente, I gotta put you onto some of these wrestler books, man. I mean, one of the most polarizing figures in professional wrestling today is Mr. Jon Moxley. And if you get a chance, I would definitely read this book. He also narrates the audio version. And sometimes you can catch a deal on like Amazon or iBooks, and you can catch them for like free or for $1. Like I bought the Bret Hart audio version for $1. That shit is nice. I mean, I just double clicked my iPhone and got it. I mean, had an extra buck and spent it on a book. Well, this book itself is one of the best, most well-crafted books I've ever read. And I'm not just talking professional wrestling, I'm talking ever. I'm a massive fan of autobiographies, and this book to me is one of, if not, the best books in pro wrestling history. I think the way Jon Moxley talks in this book kind of opens you up to understand the man that we see on our television screen weekly, or dating back to WWE. Because a lot of people didn't understand his character. Well, guess what, guys? This book told me something that I didn't know. He's not playing a character. He's doing the Stone Cold Steve Austin thing. Stone Cold Steve Austin once said that for him to be successful, he had to make Stone Cold Steve Austin Steve Williams and just turn him all the way up. Well, that's what Jon Moxley is. He is this person that you see in the book. He has really great stories about growing up in Ohio, and he gives a loving story about his father helping this family in need. He also lets you know that him and Seth Rollins have kind of been fighting forever. He talks about Seth throughout this book. He talks about his relationship with Claudio, and they have these awesome blurbs in here where Claudio actually gives him jokes. Some of them I don't understand because they're definitely like dad jokes, but some of them are pretty funny. He talks about his relationship with Renee Paquette and moving to Las Vegas and why he chose to live there, how much he loves hiking. He also lets you know the ins and outs of how he joined AEW and why he loves Tony Khan so much. But to be quite honest with you, my favorite story in here is his Mick Foley story. And that is the one where when he was coming up to the main roster, he was tapped with starting a feud with Mick Foley. And when he was doing this, he was kind of going into business for himself. He thought he was playing a role by being a super douche heel. And Foley had called him and left him tons of messages like, stop talking about my family. Like, you can say whatever you want about me, but you're just crossing the line. Here come to find out, Moxley didn't have service because he was overseas. He came back. He apologized the most he could to Mick Foley, but it was too late. And not because Foley didn't want to work with him anymore. WWE wouldn't clear Foley. So we could have gotten a really great Mick Foley and Jon Moxley feud, and we didn't. So anyway, guys, go read this book. It's awesome.